Welcome to the Rotary Club of Dallas. Today's April 1st, and typically I'd have some smart remark to make, but not, given the certain state we're in and the way things are going. No April Fools today, and just hope everybody's doing well. Glad you're joining us today. First club in Texas, 39th in the world. It's a very special club, and I think we're doing some special things. So I'm glad you could join us. Hope you enjoy the program today. Also appreciate your Facebook comments. Keep those coming in to us. Ask questions, we'll come back. Maybe if we can catch those, we'll try to respond, but we'll get back to them. But we appreciate it. We're also, like I said before, this is a work in process. So bear with us, and we welcome comments. So if you've got some suggestions to make to us that we can do a better job, let us know. And I think one of the things, if you go look right now, Hillary's been loading up previous programs are now out there on YouTube. And I've had several people comment about those. It's been a way for them to actually watch one of our programs and learn about us. So I think that's pretty cool. So thank you, Hillary, for that. As far as invocation today, one of the things I'd like to, I would suggest to us is, it's a time to give thanks and appreciation. If you look around, a lot of people are working from home. Anybody in the restaurant, industry is probably without a job. You look at the fitness centers are closed. There's so many businesses closed. I've got a couple of my customers have let most of their employees go for a period. So it's a difficult time. But you think about the people you see every day when you go out, when you walk in the grocery store, you look at that clerk that's checking you out, or you're looking at stocking. They're out there. They're meeting us face to face. Say thanks to them. You think about the delivery person who comes to your door and rings the bell. You think about the pharmacist, and you imagine when you go into a pharmacy, what they deal with. They typically deal with sick people. For them to stand there and do that every day is pretty special. You think about truck drivers. You look at, they're getting everything to the stores, getting the shelves, supplies for those to get stocked. We think about our first responders. We think about our police, our fire, our medical. You think about every place you go and the people you see and what they're doing. And what I would say to you is say thank you to them for stepping up and doing what they do, staying out there, and we try to do our part as well. So thank you for that. Birthdays today, we've got 3 of them. We've got Courtney Garrett's, hers is today. Happy birthday, Courtney. We got Rick Krennick and Blake Thompson's April 2nd. Blake, you got to get us a picture. We need a picture. We don't have anything of you, so do that. Happy birthday, everybody. It's going to be kind of, I guess you could do a virtual birthday party, but have a great birthday party. And also as a reminder with the birthday, always remember, make a donation to our foundation and in honor of your birthday, because it's ability to do something and make a difference, because we're making a difference. We're not able to do a lot of our programs we would typically do, but we're using those funds in some other good ways that I'll talk about later. And I have to tell you, today we have a great program. Matt Gerber is going to talk to us about his Rotary journey. Matt is a Shelter Box USA board member, and he's going to share what his experience in Rotary has been. And it's just an amazing story, and Matt is an amazing storyteller. Matt grew up in Rotary, although he was born in a farming family in Oregon with no connection to the organization. A Rotarian and a neighbor invited him to apply to be a youth exchange student. Since the age of 15, Matt has participated in Rotary programs from youth exchange to Camp Enterprise, being a founding Rotaract Club president, his university, a mentor to Interact clubs, 11 years as a guest speaker at RYLA in District 5100, speaker to numerous districts and zone events, service on district committees, being a Rotary Club president, Minneapolis, participating with Rotary as he lived and worked in several places overseas. until he finally moved to Dallas. Now he's a proud member of our club. Matt's story highlights the potential of youth programs to inspire lifelong loyalty and participation in Rotary. For the past 24 years, Matt says that Rotary has been the most consistent part of his life, especially given that he has worked, lived, and studied in 75 countries around the globe. Matt, I can just imagine what your passport looks like and how often you have to go add additional pages for all the stamps. Professional work, he finds inspiration in using the model of the Rotary programs in unlikely settings. Matt came to Dallas 4 years ago when he was hired to start a vocational rehabilitation program for struggling veterans, which he based off the model of RYLA, which is an amazing program. The program was an immediate success and graduated nearly 200 veterans into new careers and purposes as certified personal trainers and giving them leadership and professional skills to help them succeed in a civilian life. Matt currently helps companies design and implement corporate social responsibility strategies around the globe, with current projects in Pakistan, Ukraine, Poland, Spain, and the UK. Additionally, Matt serves on the U.S. Board of Directors for ShelterBox, the official disaster relief partner of Rotary International. Originally started as a Rotary project 20 years ago by a club in Great Britain, ShelterBox has now been nominated 2 years in a row for the Nobel Peace Prize for its ongoing work in Syria, Somalia, and Lake Chad Basin crisis. Today, Matt will be sharing about his Rotary journey and the importance of inspiring young people with potential and purpose and what Rotary is all about. Thank you, Matt.
I'm here in Guatemala, the site of a 2018 response by ShelterBox to the eruption of Volcán Fuego.
Nothing's gonna stop us, nothing's gonna top this, nothing like we've ever seen. And I raise my hands to the sky.
People don't survive pyroclastic flows. Nearly 200 people died in Fuego's eruption, with 256 more still missing. ShelterBox was here, partnering with local Rotary and Rotaract clubs to help families who had lost everything. Thank you to everyone who supports our mission to keep families together after natural disasters and in conflict zones around the globe. To learn more, visit shelterboxusa.org.
Mike, thanks so much for interviewing me down here in Guatemala. My name is Matt Gerber, and I have been involved with Rotary for 22 years, since I was 16 years old. I'm originally from La Grande, a little town in Eastern Oregon. Up in the mountains, I grew up on a little farm. And since I was a little kid, my parents can recall me telling them that I wanted to travel abroad, actually travel specifically to Australia. And my parents were always super encouraging, and they said, you can go and do anything you set your mind to. Even though we didn't have very much economic means, my dad was an elementary school janitor for most of my childhood. But a neighbor down the street was a Rotarian, and he provided me the opportunity to apply and be accepted as an exchange student. And from that opportunity, being a Rotary exchange student, I have since then lived and worked and studied in 65 countries. So when I came back from my youth exchange, I started university, and there was a Rotary Club that met at my university. And so I just started showing up to their meetings, and they didn't really know what to do with me. But there is a Rotary program called Rotaract, which is a college version of Rotary, and they helped me to start our university's first Rotaract Club. You know, Rotaract actually has the same structure as a normal Rotary Club. So there's club service, community service, and international service. For our international service, we did relief work in Colombia and in Nicaragua. And actually, our work in Nicaragua took on really a life of its own, and our Rotaract project actually turned into its own 501c3. I ran that Rotaract project in Nicaragua full-time. So I would come back to the States and I would have a paying job, but my My first real job was running this NGO, which was an offshoot of our Rotaract program. I now work in corporate philanthropy, helping companies start and run corporate social responsibility departments. How do you engage and inspire employees that they're working towards a mission bigger than just the profitability of the company? And externally, how do you help a company connect in a meaningful way to community? It's kind of like being a professional Rotarian, to be honest. So I started in Rotaract, and then I continued to participate in Rotary through RYLA, Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, which is a program that has been around since the 1960s. It was originally started by Rotary in Australia, and it is a youth leadership camp or training. And so I started as a participant, then I was a small group leader, and then I came back for 11 years as a guest speaker.
Hi, I'm Matt Gerber, and let me begin by congratulating you on your acceptance to District 5100's Rotary Youth Leadership Awards. It's my pleasure to share with you a preview of just one of the topics covered up at RYLA.
If I was on my deathbed, there's no way I'd want to be climbing Kilimanjaro.
It's not things to do a few minutes before you die, it's things to do in your life.
Alright, kick back, relax, and grab yourself a beverage. Or hop if you wanna just bounce to my leverage. The evidence, as they say, is in the pudding. So show me the money like my name is Cuban pudding. It ain't fool's gold, it's gold, fool. Can't stop, won't stop, keeping it old school. Big Spoon is my namesake plume. I keep it popping like a needle in a new balloon. And if you don't know by now, then you need more schooling. Let loose, kid, get stupid. Got more flavor than I know what to do with. So get your hands up if you're part of the movement and bump.
Now there's a couple purposes for this week that you might have heard, but I'd like to go over with you anyways. One is our commitment to you, to provide you with actionable tools that you're going to be able to use in your personal and professional life. Inspiration drawn from your peers, from small group leaders, and from the guest speakers, as well as connectivity with other young leaders. I couldn't think of a better place to give this intro to life goals than here in China, where yesterday I got to cross off one of my own life goals entries to visit Shanghai. My freshman year of college, I was introduced to the bucket list of John Goddard, who lived a life of greatness through his goals. I put on my list everything from languages I wanted to learn to places I wanted to visit. Now, no matter what your life goals list entails, we're asking that all participants write these things down and bring with them up to RYLA. Now, participants before you and all your small group leaders have all completed this task. And here are some of the things on their life goals list.
Sing it out, boy, you've got to see what tomorrow brings.
Sing it out, girl, you've got to be what tomorrow needs.
For every time that they want to count you out,
And use your voice every single time you open up your mouth.
The whole time I was at RYLA, helping young adults find their passions and live their life goals, I was pursuing my own life goals, including humanitarian aid work and international work with Rotary. In fall of 2018, after the massive earthquake and tsunami hit Palu, Indonesia, I had the opportunity to travel there for nearly a month, working with a number of different aid organizations, including Rotary. And this was my first time on the ground getting my exposure to Shelterbox, an organization which I joined a few months later and now serve on the USA Board of Directors and as the chair of the Development Committee. Shelterbox, amazingly, is an international disaster relief organization which actually has its roots in Rotary. It was started as an international service project by a Rotary Club in the UK. And since then, it has helped more than 1.2 million people in over 100 countries, more than 320 natural disasters, all with one mission: to help keep families together after natural disasters and conflicts.
Ramblers in the wilderness, we can't find what we need. We get a little restless from the search and get a little worn down in between. Like a bull chasing the matadors, a man left to his own schemes. Everybody needs someone beside him, shining like a lighthouse from the sea. Brother, let me be your shelter. Never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Face down in the desert now. There's a cage locked around my heart. I found a way to drop the keys when my failures were. Now my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for rivalry. I can never take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am strong, but it's your love that brings me home. Brother, let me be your shelter. Never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. And when you call and need me near, saying where'd you go, brother, I'm right here. And on those days when the sky begins to fall, you're the blood of my blood. We can get through it all. Brother, let me be your shelter. Never leave you all alone. I could be the one to call when you feel low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving on. Be the one to light the way, bring it home.
Rotary has been around for a really long time, and Rotary programs are very, very refined in terms of what they do. Camp Enterprise is a great example. RYLA is a great example, and I've always looked for ways to bridge my Rotary experience with my day job. And so I was hired 3 years ago to help find solutions for veterans who are struggling with PTSD, addiction, and suicide. And the whole idea was, how do we help them find purpose and community and professional success through fitness? And so I took the model from RYLA, which is an all-volunteer instructor model, small group model, and this idea that you look at people not just in terms of their professional development, but their personal development. And I applied this Rotary program for young adults to veterans who are struggling with reintegration into civilian life. And everybody questioned my assumptions. They were like, wait a second, how do you know that this small group model is going to work? And why are you having a business day and a psychology day in your program for people becoming personal trainers? Like, it just doesn't, and I just kept assuring them, I said, you know what, Rotary's been doing this for 60 years. This is going to work. And it worked the first time. And just like RYLA takes graduates from its program to come back and be small group leaders, I was able to take veterans who graduated from my first class to bring them back as small group leaders and perpetuated it. And in 18 months, we graduated almost 200 veterans into new careers as personal trainers through this Rotary-inspired model based on RYLA. We had one guy, his name was Juan, and he actually came to us from an inpatient treatment program. He had been struggling with addiction for almost 5 months. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, he came to our program, went through our 3 weeks of training, just like a 3-week RYLA program. And by the time he was done, he had a job offer at Equinox. Like, our veterans ended up becoming really, really elite personal trainers. And it was based on this Rotary model of mentorship. And how do you create an arc of experience that builds on personal skills, community skills, business skills? Rotary provides a really unique parallel professional course. And so early in my career, I didn't have the opportunity I didn't have as many leadership opportunities as people who were more senior, and yet I needed those leadership opportunities to build the experiences so I could accelerate and move up in my career. Because I was involved with Rotary in RYLA and Rotaract, and then I joined a Rotary Club and was a Rotary Club president, the experiences that I gained there fed back into my professional life. So I credit, without exception, all of the biggest moves in my career with the fact that I have also been involved with Rotary at the same time. The opportunity for Rotary clubs is to engage and inspire young people that Rotary can be relevant in their lives. And it absolutely can. You just have to figure out what is the need that Rotary can meet for these young people that they can't address on their own. Maybe it's an opportunity for community. Maybe it's an opportunity for service. Maybe it's an opportunity to travel abroad, just like we are here in Guatemala, and to be a part of something bigger than themselves. I think that in our society, we've become increasingly isolated and individualistic because of social media. And I think that it has a profoundly personal, a profoundly negative personal and professional impact. And Rotary is the antithesis of that. Rotary is the way to connect, to be a part of a bigger mission, and to be influenced by different types of people and different ideas, which is really the only way that we grow. And Rotary does all that. Rotary is one of the best decisions a young person can make. Rotary is community, Rotary is adventure, Rotary is opportunity. Yeah, you look at it on paper and you can describe the attributes of it. They usually meet every week, it's usually over a meal, it's a group of professionals who gather their time and resources to do community service projects, but that's really the what. It's not really the why of Rotary. Even service above self, we hear it so many times that I think sometimes it loses a little bit of meaning. The why of Rotary for many people who first join is professional networking. They want to expand their sphere for the benefit of their business a lot of times. But when we survey people 6 months after they've been a part of a Rotary Club, the reason why they stay, their why is community. And I think that is all we have to do is get young people to be in proximity of Rotary long enough that they get to feel that pivot from being a professional opportunity to also a personal opportunity, because that's what's going to cause them to stay. One thing I would encourage Rotary clubs to do is not to reflect on themselves as being too old or too inaccessible to attract younger members. Younger adults are craving the opportunity for mentorship. They're craving the opportunity to learn. They don't have access to previous generations like we have previously in our society, and they are hungry for people who will speak wisdom into their lives and help them ask the right questions in life, not give them the right answers, but to really say, like, you know what? When I was at this point in my life and I was trying to decide what was best for my family or my career, this is how I thought about it, and here's how I made that choice. And that's the sort of mentorship that more established Rotarians can offer prospective members. So a lot of people ask, like, what are some tools to really effectively recruit younger members? And one of the things that we found worked really well in our club in Minneapolis was we approached our program like you would approach a speaker list for TED Talks. And so we actually planned out 6 months in advance and made it really, really exciting, just like we were to promote TED Talks. And so we would find these speakers who were subject matter experts, and we weren't just trying to fill a calendar. We were trying to create inspiration, people who are the best at what they do, people who are going to share new ideas. And it just so happened that the people we invited were all people that we were targeting to be part of our Rotary Club, because we wanted to bring them in, we wanted to celebrate their expertise, we wanted to let them know that we see them, that we can learn from them, and all of a sudden, during the Q&A, they get to learn about us as well. And during the whole meeting, actually, they get to hear about our community service projects before the program. And it was actually one of the best ways to recruit. Look at your program as an opportunity to attract and get younger prospective members through the door.
I want to say a huge and sincere thanks to all of the Rotarians, Rotaractors, Interactors, and Rotary Clubs around the world that have been part of my Rotary journey. My hope is that as I continue for however much time I have left on this earth, that I will have the opportunity to continue to serve others through Rotary, to continue to find purpose, community, and hope in a very uncertain world through a very, very amazing organization. Thank you.
Matt, thank you for sharing. That was an amazing story, just amazing. Shelter Box is an amazing, if you've not seen it, I've seen their projects at, when we go to PETS, the presidential training. Shelter Box always has a setup there. And it really is an amazing thing that they do, and how it's sustainable it is, and provides an incredible service. So Matt, thank you for that. Thank you for all you do. I mean, you're a real inspiration for all of us. Thank you very much, and really do appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. District updates, but District Assembly is rescheduled May 16th. That's going to be at the Collin County Community College. And I encourage you to go to that. Let Hillary know, and we can sign you up to participate in that. It's going to be a great program, and hopefully May 16th we'll have the ability to be out and doing something. You know, it's sort of like I saw somewhere the other day, and you're seeing a lot of humor come out of this, was a story about now being homebound. You kind of know why when the door opens, a dog shoots out the door. But now you're probably feeling that same way now. So we have the district galas rescheduled for November 14th. And so that's going to be fun. So mark your calendar for those. We're now doing all the upcoming district roundtables on Zoom video. What we're doing as a club, and I encourage you individually, is support your restaurants that you normally like, order takeout. Also encourage you to support some of the organizations we're supporting. You know, we had Crossroads Community Service speak to us as the last program that we were able to have. And they really made an impact on me and others. So one of the things, the district came forward with a grant opportunity that they would put up to $1,250, and we could match that. And what we've done is we're putting in $2,500. And so we went out to the board and says, okay, nominate organizations that you think would be, you would like to support, and that's who we're going to go support. So we had Crossroads, we had the North Texas Food Bank, we had the White Rock Community Center, Faith Family. And what Faith Family is doing is, as a charter school, they're still providing meals for students. This is the only place they get food. I mean, one of my concerns I expressed last week was a concern about how these students are continuing to get meals when they're not able to go to school. But they're preparing meals. Families come by and pick them up, take them home. It's really an amazing thing. And being in South Dallas, they're also finding that their community needs more. So they've started a food bank within the charter school. All their classes now are online, but they're still trying to help their families. So that's one of our donations went to them to support their food bank. And they're asking for additional support, and it's the classic things, peanut butter. It's those types of things that are easy and simple to use that you can provide a family. So if you can help, help. And there's other organizations. There's a new one today that actually Heather brought to us, and it's called Supporting First Responders. And this particular program, it's a pretty cool deal. What it does is it's where for $300, you go support a fire station, a police station, one of their offices. And what this company does is they bring in fresh coffee, fresh ground coffee, because you think about, if you've been in there, they live off coffee. Coffee is the juice that drives firemen and police people, so policemen and women. So it's a cool thing they're doing. So we're looking at supporting a couple of those. I think it's just a great idea. It's a neat program. We're seeing some creative opportunities for organizations and coming up with ideas how we can help. So we're just living in a different time. And, it's interesting as you try to make the best of your work and your contacts and also keeping your distance, but it's also an opportunity to reach out, so. But there's one thing to look forward to. There is another season coming, tornado season. So get ready. That'll be here soon. So you've got that to look forward to. So keep that in mind. So now we come to that time of the program where we always have our four-way test, which if we all did this and all the organizations we knew followed this, wouldn't it be a better place? Of the things we think, say, and do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And last but not least, will it be fun? And will we do good? Thank you all. Have a great day. Be careful.